Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I gotta tell you guys. This anti-white woke racism that is rampant in our country really does grind my gears, okay? Because it is so hypocritical, right? The way that things are done in regards to how it is never a problem when an industry, company, business, whatever you want to call it, any type of organization is mostly so-called people of color, right? If it's mostly non-white, totally fine, right? We don't need diversity and inclusion. But Lord forbid a company, a business, or organization be mostly white and we have a problem that needs to be fixed according to the NHL's woke diversity chief that presented a report that found that the NHL was too white, that the NHL, the National Hockey League, is too white and that they must fix the problem. Take a look.
It says that we are where we expected to be, but now we have the facts to back it up. I think the one area that we are feeling positive about is that 38% of our workforce are women. We've done a lot of work to improve in that area, and it's very consistent with our current female fan base of 40%, and so that's a great benchmark. Having said that, we know we have work to do with women of color, and we're leaning into that. I think the thing that you should take away from the workforce study is that it is a progressive outlook on how you begin to manage your talent. And it is progressive in that it's a self-identified report. So of our approximately 4,200 employees across the league and the club, 67% of our employees participated in it, and this is how they self-identified. And we will take this benchmark every 2 years and measure our progress over time.
Now, this report, according to the Associated Press, found that the NHL's workforce is 84% white. Okay, 84% white. And that men make up nearly 62% of the total based off 4,200 people who participated in the voluntary survey. 90% of players and nearly all coaches and officials are white. Quote, the whole purpose behind doing a workforce study is to provide a baseline, a fact-based baseline, so that you can begin to develop very intentional and specific strategies around where you need to hire, how you need to hire, how you need to improve your brand. Kim Davis, the NHL's Executive Vice President of Social Impact, Growth, and Legislative Affairs. Quote, this is a good start, but there's a ways to go. A number of those steps are already in progress. Davis said, you can't expect to recruit Black, Indigenous, and people of color folks to work in a league if you don't at the same time have your stadium fan code of conduct underway so people feel like the sport is really serious about growing the fan base. You also have to make sure that you're reaching out to the communities from a youth participation perspective. So all those efforts are underway. So we all know what this means, right? We all know what they're trying to say. We all know the agenda that they're trying to push. They're trying to say that hockey is too white, right? The NHL is too white, which again is absolutely amazing because when it comes to NFL, the NBA, the argument is always that, well, the coaches and the executives should reflect the players. Most of the players are Black, which is not a problem, right? Even though they are disproportionately more than the Black population, not a problem, right? When it comes to sports, a problem when it comes to corporate America, though, right? According to the woke revolutionaries, but not a problem when it comes to sport. That's a meritocracy until we get to NHL, of course. But when it comes to the NHL, the players being mostly white, that means that the staff should be diverse, right? That means they should be not white. The coaches and the staff does not need to reflect the actual players. Ain't it amazing how that works? How in the world is it when you have mostly Black leagues, the attempt to add diversity and inclusion to that league includes making coaches and team staff reflect the players because apparently that's important somehow, right? But when it comes to the NHL that is mostly white, all of a sudden the staff and the coaches reflecting the skin color of the players, that don't matter anymore. That is a problem, right? It's a problem when the staff and the coaches reflect the skin color of the players. You guys see how this works? It's like I try to tell you guys all the time, and I'm so serious when I say this. Diversity and inclusion simply means less white, less men, less straight people. That's what it means. That is what it's code named for. This right here is all the proof that you need. The hypocrisy here is absolutely amazing. But I will say, this woman right here, Miss Kim Davis, she's an example of how liberal black women, who are some of the main people that are pushing this woke diversity and inclusion initiative, they're benefiting from this, right? Because it seems like every diversity and equity inclusion chief in corporate America is a black woman, right? Black women, specifically liberal ones, have benefited greatly from the woke diversity and inclusion initiatives that are being pushed across corporate America. This woman is getting the bag telling people that they're racist, right? Telling the NHL that they're racist. She's getting the bag. Probably get paid $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year simply to tell people that they're racist. Do you guys understand the incentive structure here? Right? There will never be enough diversity and inclusion if you're paying people to tell you that you're not diverse and inclusive enough. What happens when you finally become diverse and inclusive? You'll still be racist, right? You will still be racist. But again, this is just an example of how white people simply can't have anything to themselves. I'm so serious. It's totally okay for black people, for Hispanic people, for Asian people to have something to themselves. Nobody will say anything when you say, hey, I got a black business and I hire all black people. Or an Asian person has a business, I hire all Asian people. But if you're white, you better not hire all white people though, right? Or it's a problem. See, again, here's my thing. I'm a freedom type of guy, right? If black people just want to hire black folks, hey, it is what it is. I'm not going to say anything about it. But that has to be something that's allowed across the board. It can't just be white people who are forced to have diversity and inclusion, but everybody else is allowed to be as racist as they want. They're allowed to discriminate as much as they want. If we're not going to have any discrimination, we can't have discrimination across the board. It's really that simple. In an ideal world, and I know in some cases we're not, but this is actually what we should be striving towards, right? You hire people based off merit, how qualified they are. You hire the best person possible. And this is what is supposed to be reflected in sports. Sports is supposed to be a pure meritocracy in the sense that the best man gets the job. The best man is going to play. The best man is going to coach. We're not putting people in their positions because of their skin color. If the best players happen to be mostly black, so be it. If the best players happen to be mostly white, so be it. If most of the kids that are interested in a certain sport are black, so be it. If most of the kids that are interested in a certain sport, like hockey or the NHL, white, so be it. Let it run its course. That's the way that it is. We don't need to come in and try to make it more diverse and inclusive. I don't want a more diverse and inclusive NFL, right? I don't want that. Just like I don't want a more diverse and inclusive NHL. The people that want to play are going to play, regardless of their skin color. Unless they're openly discriminating against people that are qualified to play, right? That they have the skill set to play. They're discriminating against them because of their race. At that point, I would say that's not right. And that you should, play the best players. The best players should be on your team regardless of skin color. But I don't think that that's what NHL is doing. I don't think that NHL is systemically discriminating against black players, not allowing them into the league because of their skin color. I don't believe that that is what is happening. I don't believe that because I don't think that many black people or so-called people of color are interested in playing hockey. And that's fine. That is okay, right? That's okay. Just like it's okay that the NBA is mostly black, the NFL is mostly black from a player perspective. That's okay. But again, to me, what really blows my mind is how when it comes to the NBA, the NFL, any league that's mainly so-called people of color when it comes to the players, we're told that the staff, the executives must match the players, right? They must reflect the players. But when it comes to the NHL, a mostly white league, right? Most of the players are white. that doesn't apply anymore, right? We need a more diverse and inclusive staff that does not reflect the skin color of the players. Again, more evidence and proof that when they say diversity and inclusion, what they mean is we want less white, less men, and less straight. That's exactly what they mean. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.